What's going on, people? It's your man, the YB, back once again. So, we've got some breaking news right now regarding Deontay Wilder. Here we go. Wilder's manager. A fight with Zhilei Zhang with rival Ngannou versus Joshua. Here we go. Shelley Finkel, co-manager for former WBC heavyweight world champion Deontay Wilder, believes an impressive showing could get his fighter back in position for a showdown with Anthony Joshua. Last month, Wilder and AJ were featured on the same card in Saudi, and if both of them had been victorious in their respective fights, then a showdown would have taken place in March. But Wilder was shockingly upset by heavyweight underdog Joseph Parker, who fought his way to a dominant 12-round, unanimous decision. Unbelievable. 12 round, people. New. Interesting. Joshua will now collide with the MMA veteran Francis Ngannou on March 8th in Riyadh. I always get that wrong. Riyadh, that's it, Riyadh. Boom. 100%. There has been talk of Wilder appearing on the undercard, and Finkel would be very interested in securing his boxer a slot on that card. We would love that. If there was an opportunity, we'd be glad to consider it. We'd love to go back there and love to be on that card if it's possible. If that opportunity presents itself, we'll be ready, Finkel said to The Sun. You can't tell in advance, but I'd assume that Joshua would beat Ngannou. I wouldn't. Then hopefully we can see the Deontay Wilder of old, and he wins. Then of course, if those two were to happen, it would still be a natural for Deontay and Joshua to meet. Go back 2 fights, people were saying Daniel Dubois was a quitter. He sure didn't quit against Jarrell Miller and redeemed himself. 3 fights ago, people said things about Joshua. He looked very good in his fight with Wallin, and that redeemed himself in the same way. So in a similar situation, Deontay has a good opponent in the next fight, and he looks the way we know him to look. Hopefully, we have him right back there with Joshua. Finkel is also not ruling out the possibility of facing Zhang, but he'd also wait a minute. There has been some talk of Wilder facing Zhang in a co-featured slot on Joshua and Ngannou. Finkel is not ruling out the possibility of facing Zhang, but he'd also love to get his boxer a rematch with Parker. Look, we would love Parker, but that hasn't been discussed. But in either case, if Zhang was presented, that would be a big fight, Finkel said. If that was on the same card as the fight with Joshua and Ngannou, I think Deontay and Zhang would rival that. It would be a phenomenal show for the public again. I think the job that they did putting on all the heavyweight fights together on that card was wonderful. Now, there's some mixed messaging here. They said if a Zhang deal would present itself, I don't know what's going on here. The only good news here is that a partly good news, I guess you could say, is that look, we would love Parker, but that hasn't been discussed. They're not discussing Parker. Now, the Parker rematch makes sense if you don't fight Zhang. I don't want to see Wilder versus a complete bum. For me, the Zhang fight has me rock hard. We know Zhang's southpaw. We know right hand. That's the main game in a southpaw fight, which is Wilder's bag. If Wilder could knock Zhang's spark out, I got Zhang. Again, don't take my word for it. We know I'm probably going to lose, so Wilder probably knock him out in round 1, but still, I got Zhang. The same way I had Wilder smoking Parker is the same way I've got Zhang smoking Wilder. Zhang's too durable, he's too quick. He's just a real boxer. Big dude as well. Wilder weighing in 215, Zhang weighing in 285. And Zhang isn't 285 and ponderous like Jarrell Miller. Zhang is 285 and he quick. Yes, it's not hard to look quick against Joyce, but still, he's actually quick in my opinion. Quick, tricky, can box. A serious bad dude. If Wilder takes that fight, I'm going to give him massive salute. That's something really he hasn't done in his whole career, I'm going to be honest. That said, he's never been on a bad loss before. Now we get to find out what Wilder's made of. The Parker rematch. Parker beat Wilder right, but it wasn't a whooping. It wasn't like I need to see it again kind of thing. Would it be nice for Wilder to spark Parker? Yes, in an ideal world. However, that should not get in the way of Wilder and Zhang, is all I'm saying. I want to see Wilder and Zhang. I want to see a big punching Wilder he has to, listen, if Wilder loses against Zhang, it's over for him. What I don't want to see is Wilder kind of fight Parker. I can see Wilder getting the W against Parker. Parker wasn't dangerous enough in that sense. Yeah, he won every round, or he won 10 rounds or whatever, but he wasn't dangerous, was he? There was no knockout threat there. So I can see Wilder win it next time. I wouldn't bet on it, but I can see it happening, right? The Zhang fight is a complete... I don't see him winning that fight. In fact, I see him getting knocked out. I see Zhang knocking Wilder out. I'm going to be honest with you. Too much. But Zhang's been in there with people like Hrgovic, and yeah, he put Hrgovic down but couldn't stop him. So it's not like, yeah, Zhang's got a great win over Joyce twice, but I don't know, man. Zhang's popping for me right now. Having seen that Joyce performance, we know Joyce is leaky, but equally we know Wilder isn't the best boxer. He's not the most fundamentally sound. When them legs get twisted, and often you see Wilder like this and whatnot, Zhang going to be pop right through the middle, pop right round the sides. Zhang's got a nasty right hook, a nasty backhand, and all that politicking Wilder likes to do. Zhang actually can politic and hit you as well. Wilder was politicking in there with Parker and didn't hit nothing, did he? You know what I'm saying? He doesn't actually box. I don't know what he does. Whatever he does well, obviously. He's got this far. Almost knocked out Tyson Fury a few times. But still, there's levels. Zhang is levels. Heavy puncher. Fast. Big. Everything you don't want to fight. Parker is smaller. I mean, Zhang's on a win streak. He's hot. He's from China, so he's got that. I think Zhang's got something there, kind of thing. They're different. I don't know. What am I trying to say here? I'm trying to say that, Parker, yeah. I respect Parker how he's come back. He wasn't supposed to win that fight. I have to salute that. Still, though, the rematch don't intrigue me. It's kind of like, well, if Parker wins again, then Wilder's completely out of it, right? If Wilder's going to be completely out of it, I'd rather see Zhang catch a body than Parker. Why? Well, Parker back in the mix does what for me? Parker beating Wilder again puts him solidly back in the mix. But for what? Parker ain't going to beat Fury. He ain't going to beat AJ. He ain't going to beat Zhang. He ain't going to beat Ngannou. What's the point? Hence, I'd rather see Wilder and Zhang, because the winner of Wilder and Zhang, if Wilder knocks Zhang out, he's back in the mix. I can see how he beats AJ. I can see how he beats Ngannou. I can see how he beats Fury, for example. Or if Zhang wins, I can see how he beats Ngannou. I can see how he beats AJ. I can see. That's what I'm saying. The Parker situation, I didn't see enough there. If he'd have stopped Wilder, you could say, wow, he's back and he's just firing. But the Parker performance reminded me to some extent of Parker versus Hughie Fury. A good dominant performance, but it lacked that pizzazz. Parker's never really had that pizzazz. When he beat Andy Ruiz in a close fight, it lacked that pizzazz for the World Championship belt. It lacked that extra edge you expect at heavyweight. So no, I don't really want to see Parker again. If Wilder's going to lose, it should be to Zhang anyway. Let's see how it plays out. Let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, and let off the bell 100%, no doubt.